What's up? What's up? What's up, Mr. Dell, Mr. Mac? Welcome back. Welcome back.
What's
What's
going
up? What's
on? What's
up?
going on, man?
All right, we want to welcome everybody to the TPNB podcast. We've been gone for a week, but we back in the saddle, ready to get it popping. Been a lot of big things going on between Juneteenth, NASCAR, NASCAR basketball, and NBA coming back, and the world starting back up. But we got a special guest today, and I want Mr. Dell to tell us who we got.
Yeah, this guest is coming up. Has been a longtime friend of mine. I've known him for many years. He hails from Evansville, Indiana. A really good friend of mine. One of the first stretch fours I saw, 6'10", long athletic. We met at the Kentucky Derby Festival in Louisville, Kentucky. He was a four-year player at the University of Kentucky. He helped lead Kentucky to the 96th. He was a first-round draft pick by the New York Knicks, number 19 to be exact. Had a 10-year NBA career, was on his way as a remarkable coach, understands the game, knowledgeable, really great about speaking to kids and understand the importance of being a leader. My good friend, we would like to welcome to Think Believe Walter Slim Ice McCarty. Slim, are you with us? First of all, we welcome you on the show, Slim. And well, I would like to start out with when it came down to making your decision on going to different schools, what was your top five schools that you had in place as a school that you want to go to?
I didn't think he was that. If that was his mean mug face, that was a tough one. He frozen. I was looking at that, man. That's a tough
Yeah.
mean mug. Come
I
on,
know
I,
Walt. Hit the button. Like T.I.
we're
say, hit the button.
trying to get his audio together. Let's
Hey,
see if we can get his
man,
audio together. Because right
that's a
now,
tough screenshot, Tony, for your boy. We ain't gonna put that out
I
there.
know.
oh yeah, nah. He
So
was
tell me
definitely
this,
mean
fellas.
mugging.
Yeah, he was mean mugging. Tell me this while we get Walt straight. Far as the holiday in the last 2 weeks, what y'all do for Juneteenth? Tell me about y'all Juneteenth.
I
So
kind of
I
relaxed, man. It was about I think as that Juneteenth rolled around, I think more people are really gaining more knowledge about the meaning of the date, what's behind it, when did it start, and how resourceful we can be as we share this information with our family and friends. Because I think in the last couple of days, I've learned more about Juneteenth, the meaning behind it, when every state has recognized it except three. And we'll talk about those three states who haven't recognized Juneteenth as being a recognizable holiday, but it's something that really means a lot to our culture when it comes to the fight in the Civil War between the Confederates and the United States. And the Confederates at the time had only, I think the Confederates had 9 million people, and then the United States had 22 million people. So when the two fought, it was about freedom and freedom for our culture.
All right, Shell,
oh
what you
yeah.
what y'all do? What you do for Juneteenth?
Juneteenth, kind of just relaxing, chill, especially having kids, trying to stay away from everyone else. But learning a lot of information. Honestly, the first time I actually kind of heard what Juneteenth was like last year when we went down to the restaurant. They had a celebration, in Marietta Square, which also was like where they sold slaves at. So it was a different overall view and experience for me. But just learn as much information about that, and then also, going back and studying some more of the Civil War. The crazy part about the Civil War is like, with all the monuments getting taken down and stuff, is that the war was only 4 years, and they lost, but it still have all these monuments all over the place. It's just crazy to me thinking about that and Juneteenth and looking at all that stuff. It's just like I've never seen any place where like you lose and you still get a statue. Like I just haven't seen it. And I don't understand it. So I've been doing that. Also putting in with my kids holiday subscription. Let them know like this is actually a holiday that doesn't show up on your Google calendar or Apple calendar or any calendar. It's just like making them more aware of what's going on.
And also, I,
Right.
I think to Shell's point, it's so important for us to understand that, it's a racist flag, but it's a flag to me, like Shell is talking about. They didn't even win. So you walking around and you parading a losing flag. So that speaks volume for people who really know the history. When you go back to, okay, wins and losses, is that I want to support the winning side. And we have so many people that have supported the losing side, but we're in a changing atmosphere right now. I think so much is happening that, a lot of people are going to be exposed and have been exposed, but now I think it's going to open up for so many other people to come in. And like I said, we can't be silent anymore. If you're silent, that means you're part of the problem. So let's figure out who's a part of the problem, and we have to move on from them.
All right. I think we got Mr. That might be the same meme mug. Move your head, Walt.
We got Slim Mike. Slim Mike, you back with us, man?
Yeah, there you go. All right, man. Man. Hey, man, I got nervous.
Hey, we did, man. Serious, man. Hey, you had your real poker face going right there, man. We didn't know if that was a real face or we didn't know what was happening.
That conversation was serious. You start thinking about that, you gotta get a little intense.
Amen. Did y'all do anything wild for Juneteenth?
Nah, man, just hung out, slow motion. Still just trying to make sure we don't step out too much, and just trying to stay safe and keeping it low key.
Yeah, not like some people I know. Go on with the question. Go on with your question till you drop it on the kid.
Hey, Walter, first of all, I'm not listening to what Mel talking about. And when you left school in 1992, when you left Harrison High, and being from the state of Indiana, I know it was a tough decision to leave Indiana and pursue your dream at the University of Kentucky. How tough a decision was that for you leaving Evansville and signing the letter of intent to go to the University of Kentucky?
Well, it was tough leaving the state, but being in Evansville, it's right on the border of the Ohio River. So I saw just as much as Kentucky games as I saw Indiana. Only thing I hated is I think I lost Mr. Basketball because I went to the University of Kentucky. It was really political. Not that it's not political now, but it was really political back then. So I think I really lost, Charles Macon.
Who?
Okay. Exactly. Went to the Ohio State.
Yeah.
Went to the Ohio State, then I think he transferred to like Central Michigan or something like that. But being down where I was and going to the state of Kentucky and committing earlier where other guys waited just to see if they're going to get that Mr. Basketball or not. They kind of held it off, but I knew that was the place for me. Going to Kentucky, the style of play, so all that stuff made it easier, man. Just made it. It was the right choice, just because of the style of play.
Can you tell our audience, with us being roommates for 4 years, and I think both of us had a struggle. You not playing your first year, me trying to find my spot on the court. Can you explain to everyone how hard it was to transition from high school to college and play for a legendary coach like Coach Pitino?
I was very tough. First of all, just from a strength and endurance standpoint, man, just it's so different. I went from playing high school basketball. I think I weighed probably 190, 186, and to go to Kentucky where you're thrown in the center position, you're guarding guys who are 265, 285. So just from a strength standpoint, it was really tough. But just the game and how fast it was. All these things are just different factors. And then not being able to play and still trying to find your way and trying to continue to get better and keep up with the guys who are playing to make sure that those guys aren't too far ahead of me. So it was really tough because you for me sitting out, you're actually kind of exiled a lot from what the team is doing. So I had to keep myself in shape. Every workout, every strength and conditioning workout was a one-on-one workout with the strength coach. It wasn't, all right, I got 2 guys, I got 3 guys, or we got this group. Everything was individual. So it was tough, but you got to weather those storms. And like Delp, the first year not playing a lot, you want to transfer. There's just a lot of moments that can break you down that you have to either face them or run away. And I'm just glad that we stayed strong, we hung in there, and the rest was history.
Persevered, brother.
Yeah, we persevered, man, and it wasn't easy, but it was cool because I think our group that we came in with, it made it a lot easier for us because we all connected and we had each other's back, and we pushed each other, helped each other get through it.
Yeah. No, first thing first, I definitely agree what you said about stuff being political. My year coming out, it was me, Scotty Hobson, and Darius. Who you think won Mr. Basketball?
Steve Miller, man, what are you
Sure,
talking about?
well, you came for
Uh,
sure.
exactly. Well, that's one of my closest friends. He is well deserved. He worked hard, but him going to University of Kentucky, I think he didn't have to play that senior year. He won it already. I'm gonna tell you that. So
Yeah,
Hey, you
same
know
way
yeah,
you
what?
feel
Hey,
about
hey,
the Indiana.
I'm gonna let Brian know, man. You know Brian. You know Brian ain't gonna like that one.
No, he definitely ain't gonna like that. If we do the
Is
rankings
Kentucky
order
is
of it,
Kentucky
like,
got that much pull for real?
yeah,
Oh
Kentucky
yeah,
yeah,
got
I'm,
that
I'm,
much
I'm gonna
pull
break
definitely.
it
for
down.
real?
I'm gonna break it down to you real quick, Mel. It's how the rankings came out. So I was the lowest ranked out of those two. I I had a good year. I know I wasn't gonna make it, but Scotty Hobson was third in the country and went to Tennessee, and he didn't win Mr.
Hold
Basketball. Was a
on.
McDonald's All American, and Darius got it.
Wow.
I don't know.
Dang.
It carry a little weight,
That's just
man. A little weight.
yeah. That's just crazy. But while over the past few years, you been able to work with a lot of guys that I've known from college. All the Butler guys up there with Coach Stevens, then also with Coach Stevens, Shrewsbury, Alex Barrow, and then no in Evansville with Coach Graves. Like, what influence or anything you got from the Butler way? I'm pretty sure they talked about it a lot. Did you learn anything from it? Did you understand it or anything like that?
Yeah, I think one thing that I really loved, and come from Brad Stevens, man, is his preparation. Um, Tony and I, we've been very fortunate to come up under Coach P, who's the guy who's always prepared, and I mean, just there's no surprises, and that's what Brad reminded me of, man. He's just really sharp, but his preparation and his ability to um, get information and gather information and make everybody seem like they're a part of what's happening, what's going on. Now, whether he used your information or took it, I don't know, but he made you feel like he was using your information or that you had something to do with the big picture. But that's the number one thing, just his ability to just be prepared for every little instance. For instance, man, when timeout comes, right? And Brad would draw something up, and just the way guys were playing, say if we're playing the Heat and the way the Wade or LeBron was playing a certain play, I got him. He had gone over stuff so much in his head that he knew exactly at the moment before they guys even read the play that he got him. But what he also did, what I learned from Brad too, is also obviously he's a genius on the court with his X's and O's, and when those plays work out there, and you're like, man, that was awesome. We may be seeing it for the first time, but those guys aren't seeing it for the first time. There's not a corner or turn, or there's nothing that he hasn't gone over that he's shared that he's going to throw in his team that he's going to surprise him with. So man, his preparation and from every single detail, man, was impeccable, man, and that was something that really stayed with me. Um, to make sure that I'm always prepared and to the 10th degree.
That's good. I got a couple questions for you now. I lighten it up a little bit, man, because I ain't no X's and O's basketball guy. I learned a lot. These two guys
A
teach
lot
me
of head coaches
basketball every
aren't
day.
either.
Say it again, Walt. Say it again.
A lot of head coaches aren't either. Trust me.
I heard, man. I learned it. They tell me that. They said when you sometimes y'all be in the middle of the dog fight, it be trying to run that last play. Some of them coaches just be as scared as the guy on the bench. Have you ever seen
That's
that?
right. I have.
Oh yes,
I've seen it, and
I've
it's
witnessed it too. So
yeah. It takes a lot. It takes a lot to be able to in the heat of the moment when things aren't going well to draw stuff up, but also not even drawing stuff up, but when you draw something up, those 5 guys looking back at you in that huddle, they got to believe it. They got to believe this is going to work, or oh, coach, this is some BS. This ain't going to work. You know what I'm saying? So whatever you're drawing up, whether it's simple or whether it's intricate, whatever it is, it's got to be something that they believe is going to work, that they got a chance of succeeding.
All right. I want you to think back. It wasn't that long ago for you, but for Tony, it was a minute. The first day y'all met on campus, and you locked eyes to eyes, and y'all was on the court or in the locker room, or where. Tell me about the first day you met this character. Describe it. Did he say something smart? Did he challenge you? How did it go down the first day y'all met, if you
No,
remember?
Duck was always quiet, man. So we actually met. We played at Kentucky Festival in high school, and we shared a room back then. And I don't know, man. To be honest, I don't remember much, but we just always clicked, man. It was like we had been knowing each other forever, and I think that was that's just an awesome thing when you click and you're both are interested in some of the same schools and you commit to the same school. So we clicked early at 17 years old, man, at Kentucky Derby Festival, and it's we 46 right now, so it's crazy.
And Mel, hey, that was one of my worst high school games too. Hey man, play awful. I know the Kentucky fans are like, we just signed this dude. Dude, I never forget. I went 1 for 10. I only had like 2 points that coming off averaging that many points, man. It was like, this dude really coming to Kentucky. But Walter, think about this. So when you leaving Evansville, spending 4 years in Kentucky, and then you go to New York City. Tell us about that experience, as being a New York Knick.
Which experience you want? What are we talking about here?
You talking about the New York? Hey, no. Hey, let's leave college out of it. Hey, that's in the past, man. All of this in the past. Let's get to our NBA, man, because a lot of things happen in college. But let's talk about your transition from college to the NBA.
I'll tell you what, man. That was one of the biggest learning years as far as basketball that I've ever. I mean, it was monumental. You go from obviously leaving from a championship with Kentucky with a stacked team. I go to New York, man, and we have Patrick Ewing, John Starks, Allen Houston, Charlie Ward, Chris Chow, Scotty Brooks, Larry Johnson, Charles Oakley, Herb Williams, Buck Williams. It was you talking about being around a lot of veterans. And one thing that I say, and I hope that a lot of young people are listening, our first day of training camp. So obviously, you guys know the rookies have to be early, an hour early to get your workout in before the veterans come in. And we had training camp down in Charleston, South Carolina. So I'm walking. I'm the first. I'm always the first rookie there, first person in the gym, because that was my thing. I'm being first, letting them know I'm ready to go. Jeff Van Gundy had left a note in my locker room. In my locker, along with Dante Jones and John Wallace. And he put this letter there, and it says, "You will not play this year." Right? This is the first day of training camp. You will not play this year unless we're up 20. It's crazy. Unless you're up 20, we're down 20, or somebody's in foul trouble, right? He said, he said, this is what I want you to do. And this is something I've always kept in mind. He's like, work hard, right? Work hard, learn as much as possible, and be patient. Those are the 3 things that you have to do. And I did that. And it was fun just to be around Oakley and Johnson and Patrick, all these guys every day, just to see their work ethic. These guys are 10 and 12 years in the league, and Charles Oakley was at the gym every day at 6 a.m. running on the treadmill, lifting. All these guys. So it was like, wait, man, these guys they're not messing around. So whatever they did, whatever they were doing, man, they were in that gym 6 to 7 a.m. on the treadmill, man, getting it in before practice, running after practice. So one thing for me being in New York, obviously playing in the Garden and playing for all those people and playing with those legends, man, is their work ethic, man, just always stuck to me, and I was always impressed how these guys worked and how strong they were and how much they put into their bodies and respected their bodies.
No, definitely. That's something that I had to learn like over time. It's coming in as a rookie too. Like I was drafted behind John at UK, and like there's certain times I just wasn't gonna play. It just wasn't gonna happen. But just learning all the other things, I think that's what helped me stay in the league so long. But was you on the back-to-back teams at Kentucky, or you was on one of them?
I was not. We won it our senior year, and no, I was not.
All right.
You
So
know,
on that team, I
what-
want who was the best player on that team in your eyes?
my
It could
senior
be
year,
whoever. Yeah, your senior.
Tony
Who
was
was the
the
best
best
player on that team?
Tony
Said
was the
who?
best player. Duck was the best player. I think, no, for all around, being able to score, get a shot off, and now when I say best player, I mean being consistent. Field goals, knowing when to shoot the ball, making shots. Like how many shots Tony talked? He was making shots, but he was a guy that opened it up for all of us because he could shoot the ball from any place on the floor. Now, Antoine Walker was probably the most talented, had the most talent, but he was not our best player at that point. Like we really needed Tony to have big nights for us. Like I may have a big night, Antoine may have a big night, Mercer may have a big night. We needed Tony to have a big night every night.
I would agree. That doesn't mean he was the best player. You need somebody to take that pressure. Y'all getting double team. He wide open. I understand that. That's what I'm saying. Like it ain't like he going against
Wow,
three people.
this where this coming from, Wow. Last week, Shelvin told Tony that he was the seventh best player on that team. Now, talent-wise, that's what Shell said. Now, I disagree.
Man, any day like that thing was going up and it was going in. Any day like
I agree.
you can see that. If you go back,
I
look at
definitely agree. No, I definitely agree for the fourth best shooter in NCAA history. I agree.
Wow, you missed it. You know that.
I heard. And what people don't recognize is he locked his man up too. Like whoever you were, two guard, whatever, you weren't scoring. Duck was so competitive at both ends, man. On the floor, man. Like he was going to score, you weren't going to score. So I mean, he was our best player on that team, for sure.
I got. Yeah,
we agree.
Hey, Sheldon want to hear that, man. That's what he didn't want to hear.
That's the answer he's looking for, TV. That wasn't the answer he wanted.
But think about this, Mel. Though, but he'll tell you, dude. But we had to bring it. Shell, the same thing. We had to bring it every day, man. It was when I tell you it was hard every day. And this is what I tell Mel about his son. I say, and Shell know this. You have to compete every day, man, to be really good and stay consistent with it. And I don't think young kids understand that part of work ethic is that they want to come and play hard when they want to play hard, or when another player's in the gym. But when you're really good, you have to bring it every night. And I think when I got in the league and I got a chance to really witness Michael Jordan is that, I mean, every time we played that dude, man, I was like, he's the best player in the world. Like there was during the whole time I was in the league and played against him, he was the best player in the world.
And he brought it every night, both.
We're gonna hit a break in a minute, Walt, and then we come back. We're gonna talk about some social issues and things going on. You good for a while? You gotta run. You got time?
I'm good.
All right. Hit it, TC. Uh-oh. TC done went to the bathroom.
Kid old enough for money but too young to deal with a checking account? Oh, and you don't really want to deal with cash? You need the Cube Kid Card. Reload right from your bank account, set parameters, and spend just like a normal debit card. If the card is lost, no problem. Without the app, the balance is zero. Get yours at cubemoney.io.
looks like we're on point for fourth quarter. Good word. Lunch is on me. Where you guys want to go? Hemingway's on Marietta Square.
Hemingway's and Marietta Square invites you to enjoy a great atmosphere and good time at lunch, just as you would during Hemingway's nights. Our express lunch has menu items under $10. Join us for trivia night on Wednesdays, or hang out on our patio with live music on the weekends. It's Hemingway's on Marietta Square.
Are you suffering from fear and anxiety? The Allen Counseling Clinic is here to help. Our goal is to help you grow from your struggles, heal from your pain, overcome your fears, and get the relief from your anxiety. Call now, area code 424-295-6227. Telehealth is now available.
Investigating a noose that it says was discovered in Bubba Wallace's garage stall at Talladega Superspeedway in Alabama. Wallace is the only black driver in NASCAR's top racing circuit. He successfully lobbied earlier this month to get NASCAR to ban Confederate flags at any of its races or properties. At the same time, Wallace and his Richard Petty Motorsports team debuted a new hashtag Black Lives Matter paint scheme for his race car. Wallace described the noose incident as a despicable act of racism in a statement late Sunday. He continued, "This will not break me. I will not give in, nor will I back down. I will continue to proudly stand for what I believe in." NASCAR similarly condemned the, quote, heinous act, saying, "As we have stated unequivocally, there is no place for racism in NASCAR, and this act only strengthens our resolve to make the sport open and welcoming to all." For Newsy, I'm Catherine Beek.
Yo, Tony.
Yeah, so as you watch that, Walter, and Shell and Mel, I think this year has been interesting. I mean, a lot has happened this year. Going back to the beginning, I guess when the passing of Kobe Bryant, but so much social justice and injustice has taken place, and just to get back off Father's Day, I think all of us, we're detoxing, and all of a sudden you wake up and you hear this news that there was a noose found in his garage. What do you guys think, personally from yourself, being Bubba Wallace, how would you feel if you walked into your garage thinking that, okay, NASCAR has started doing a better job? Well, this is the first year they really banned the Confederate flag. So being Bubba Wallace, I mean, I know it has to be disheartening to him for all the things that he believes in. But, from y'all standpoint, how do y'all feel about just hearing another issue like that taking place in this country?
You go first, Walt.
Well, I'm not surprised, number one, but I do want to say that I'm excited of the stance as NASCAR has taken and what they're doing and the steps they're taking to move forward, because that's the big thing. If you just think back to 2 years or 5 years and the reputation of NASCAR, that's a really big step forward. So I applaud them for that. But there's still so much work that needs to be done, and it's disheartening because obviously for us, when we play a game where there's it's all African American. We can stand with each other. We got each other's back. If something goes wrong, we're here to support each other. Bubba don't have that within his own sport, which is really which is scary. It's not like that he, if I'm going through something, shoot, my basketball team, I got 12, 13 other guys that they're right there with me, standing strong. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. He doesn't have that. So it's scary that he's always got to look over his shoulder. Who can I trust? Do these people really feel this way? We know about this sport already. Do they really feel this way? Or is it just, are they just fake? Or are they really, what I'm saying? He's in a tough situation. So hopefully that NASCAR continues to step forward and take the stance that they've taken and go through extra measures to make sure that he's safe and that they weed this racism out, and that the people who really feel this way, it's going to be up to them to see what their move is and how they deal with this and how they make him feel safe. But I'm so proud of the stance that he's taking. What he's doing right now is Muhammad Ali-ish. It's Colin Kaepernick. He's on the island by himself. You know what I'm saying? Within that sport, we all got his back. We support him, but he's in a tough situation.
Man, I couldn't imagine being in a sport like that. You know what's so crazy? I don't know if y'all saw it. What is the guy? It's a rapper's name with Ja Rule, Irv Gotti. He does a show on BET, and he did the reverse racism. I know Tony saw it, and they had like was it? You saw it, Tony? They had like a
I
black
did.
cop
I saw
beating
that.
down
It's
a little
called.
blonde-headed kid and calling the N-word, and it's the craziest. So could you imagine in the NBA if we treated the white athletes like they were doing in NASCAR, like putting up stuff? It's just crazy
Right.
that he has to deal with that. Like you said, it's got to be a little scary, a little nerve-wracking for him to be in that situation. But I don't know about the white guys. That would be a good topic, how the white guys in the NBA felt. I think Kyle Korver spoke on it. But our culture as a whole, we are embracing culture. I mean, we can call it discrimination, but we are embracing culture. We don't really, on a whole, we don't have issues like that in our culture. So NASCAR, I think they're doing what they've been doing.
I think also just playing at Kentucky and coming from Indiana, like we come from states, and then Mel is from Tennessee, and I know Shell is from Kentucky. But you think about the Confederate states that that we happen to live in and have been born in is
Go ahead, TD. Oh,
Yeah,
TD
I,
froze
I,
up.
th- yeah, I
Go
think he
ahead, Shell.
froze up.
Go ahead, Shell.
Yeah, now my thing with that is like it's a very different and unique situation. Same thing as when Walt was talking about is like he's the only guy there. So no, when I was in Italy this year, I was the only American. I think it was two African Americans on the team, me and Jeff Brooks. He's from Louisville, but it's just hard to kind of communicate and like rally around people because they don't understand the same things you're going through. So I think he's in a very tough situation. Hopefully, he get a lot of support from other athletes and people who's kind of been in a similar situation. But overall, it's a bad situation. My thing is, I want to know what NASCAR is going to do with Ray, the dude who said he quit NASCAR because they banned the flag. Like,
Right.
would he be able to
they
come
killed
back
him.
and race again and
They
be
killed him.
accepted or no?
I
They
don't even
went
think
him
they
what
hard,
let
happened?
Shell.
Huh?
They went in
What
on him
happened?
hard. Oh, they
I
went
ain't
in
see
him.
it.
They
They went in on him so hard.
the people did, but I want to know is NASCAR gonna like stand up the same way like the NFL did their job with, or not did their job, but stand up against Kaepernick? You get what I'm saying? If they able to do that, then we can see a change. But I don't think it's gonna be the same thing. I think if he says issue an apology or whatever, he'll be able to race in 2 weeks.
look. Man, they are out in front now. So they've been kind of put on blast. So they got to react. One thing I tell you, these millennials, man, they out there. They out there fighting, man. And so NASCAR's got to they got to step up, and we're going to see if they do the right thing or not. But it's you're right. They got to step up. They're not going to be able to just people not having it anymore, man. We're in a unique time right now. It's a unique situation, point where we're at right now. So um, hopefully do the right thing.
Yeah, I definitely agree because the thing that I've noticed like over like the well, say the 24 hours, I think it happened last night. I was laying in bed, but NASCAR as a whole stepped up, but like no individual person like came out and spoke their mind, and I think that's
Right.
that's
Mm.
very important. Like they're taking the easy
Yeah.
way out. It's just using NASCAR as the shield. You know what I mean? I think that's the problem that you see a lot with that stuff, and when people like players stand up or like Jeff Gordon come up and say it's not right, I think everyone else will follow. But them, this I seen the picture they had him and from the picture with all the drivers. Like no one said anything.
Right.
Y'all gotta realize, like Tony, NASCAR fan base is East Tennessee, boy. Where I'm from.
Yeah,
NASCAR
I
fan
already
base
know,
got you
man.
in the backer. Y'all know
Yeah,
that.
you ain't
They
gotta.
can lose
You don't have to
fans.
tell me. We already know. But
It's East
still, like you
Tennessee.
said. I think, as we said earlier, Mel, but they're still part of. If you think about the Confederate flag, it is a losing flag. So regardless of how they wear it or what they say about it, they did not defeat the North. So to me, yeah, you need more than just. I think Bubba Wallace. What's going to be important, as Shell is talking about. We need some other people, some other colleagues to step up. To support him, to know so he can feel like, okay, these guys are my colleagues, but these guys have my back. And if
You know,
your ally is not speaking up, then you by yourself, basically. Like if you're silent, like I said earlier, you're part of the problem.
right. And just even,
Uh,
even to that, they need people to speak up, their colleagues. But what they also need to do, they got to start like every other sport, like what the NBA has done. They need to start hiring African American, putting people in higher positions in NASCAR, and people who sponsor NASCAR events. They need to start hiring African Americans and putting these people in positions where they're changing that culture. Until they do that, it's not going to change.
the good thing that's going on now is for the people who are racist, who are still in the old 50s, 60s, 70s, or the 1800s. They at least putting on a show. But they still, some of them, if we give them opportunity, they gonna show their true feelings. So I
Yeah.
like what's going on now, but a lot of it is fake. A lot of it is because if you say all lives matter, you can lose your job. Now, before this all happened, man, they had these
Not
jokers.
even
They had you wear my flag and you wear your ex and I wear mine. They thought that was okay, and they still think it's okay. They just losing their job now. If they wasn't losing
But
their job, go ahead, Walt.
I just one thing just to add to that. I hope so. It's cool right now to be on the Black Lives Matter.
Yep.
I don't want to say bandwagon, whatever. That's not the right word. But what I'm trying to say is, a lot of people are profiting. A lot of companies. Is it because you just want this business, or are you actually out there? Are you employing African Americans and Black Americans? Are they on your boards? Are they in higher positions? CEO positions, and that's what we want to see. Just don't jump on board and tweeting stuff because you want business and or because it's about economics. Like, are you really making a change within your company and living by what you say?
Well, it will start with the
and
economics, and we very seldom do talk about business. Right now, we're in a unique place in history. Right now, we have the ability, the authority, and the leverage to. I mean, right now, I could go on any major network and call out a CEO of any Fortune 100 company, and they will respond with hiring us, with putting us in the
Right.
positions. But we have to have a
why
uniform
haven't why
strategy.
haven't you done it then?
I had that's not my focus right now, man. I would love to, but
Hey,
that's not my
we
focus.
need you
I'm
to
in the gym
change.
with
Hey,
you,
Mel.
talking with the
Hey,
kids.
we need you to change.
I'm in the
Hey,
gym
tell him,
with
Sam, we need
you,
you to change
doing
his focus
diligence.
right. Mel, change your focus right now. We need to be hired as CEO and president of some of these companies that we know we can't run right now, but just put
Hey,
us in position to make that salary. You
hey,
know what I'm saying?
hey. I don't want to cost y'all no jobs right now. I can call out anybody. McDonald's, Macy's, Ford, Kentucky. How many black people do y'all have on y'all board? How many black staffing companies have you all called and said, I want to make a change? How many
So
politicians have
Yeah,
come with money in the pocket? So I say it.
yeah.
You know
It
me.
starts there.
I
It's
got
right.
yeah, I got one.
Mhm.
I got one that I've been looking at, like a business wise. This is everyone's favorite business. It's Chick-fil-A. I feel like Chick-fil-A has to do something because like a lot of people don't realize is that Chick-fil-A, if you don't own one beforehand, you can't get a new one. So that there's no way for a minority to come in that business model.
Right.
I feel like if they can structure that differently, that would be a big thing. Like me, us four can never own a Chick-fil-A because no one in our families owned a Chick-fil-A before. So that's kind
Wow.
To
of
my knowledge,
that's still
to my knowledge,
it's
Shell,
still holding us in.
to my knowledge, and I researched it in the past, the way Chick-fil-A actually works, now it could have changed, and I could be misinformed, is you have to work in Chick-fil-A. Because I looked at buying some. It's not that they limit your ownership based on bloodline. To my knowledge,
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
go
I
serve
got
some sandwiches, we can do it.
yeah,
So go
yeah.
serve some sandwiches, and
But
we put up the money.
it's rigged though. It's like I'm not gonna go work at Chick-fil-A. You're not gonna go work at Chick-fil-A, and TD's
Mm-hmm.
not. But I should be able to kind of own one if I can afford it. Only way that would work if I own the business and my son works there, and it keeps getting passed along. You see what I'm saying?
But the real reason, the other
There's no
way
way
it
you can
works
come
is
in and buy one.
we got to challenge these companies. Like you said, to call them out. Don't spend money with people who don't invest in us. I invest in people who invest in me. So that's another way to call them out. Tell me about this, Walt. My brother thinks the other way that we can make change is we have to be politicians. We have to get involved in politics. And Tony, you can answer this too. I said the reason we hadn't been in politics and in that realm yet is because we're first generation money, really. Like my dad, Walt, I don't know about your dad, Shep, I don't know about your mom and your parents. They didn't come from middle class. Most of us come from lower class or get off your ass class. We barely made it. So we didn't have the opportunity to put our kids, put us into politics. Everybody on this line right now, if one of our daughters wanted to get into politics, they don't have to go chase a check right now. We have the ability to get behind them and the resources. My brother Roy thinks that if we invest in politics, in decision making, that could be another step of change. Walt, what do you think?
I agree. One thing that our culture, what we have to do, we have to start teaching our kids and about politics early. Where there's student council in school, it was never cool to be the student council. You know what I'm saying? Growing up, or just even city councilmen. We got to start there. The problem is we're so far behind is we don't think any of this affects us in the neighborhood that we come from. Like we don't think we're seeing change. So we don't get involved until it's too late. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's about voting or whether it's about, all right, this is my neighborhood. This is the schools and all this stuff that's affecting my kids. But we don't get involved in to that stuff till it's too late. So you're right. We got to start teaching our kids about politics and early on, where so we're not so far behind. But I think that's the problem. We've never really gotten involved because we don't think that it affects our life. You know what I'm saying?
Another tip I learned. Go ahead, Tony.
Go ahead, man.
Go ahead, TD.
All right.
I just said
You
another
know
thing
what?
that I learned in politics. Another thing I learned in politics is investing. Put money behind a politician. When all my business partners, that's the first thing they told me. Mel, no matter who's running, put some money with them. Just so you have that relationship. Go ahead, Tony.
Well, I think what you're talking about is so important because it's still about connection. Like you still got to be able to be connected to the right people. And every time I hear about someone, having a successful business, it's always them going to the bank and getting a loan. A loan of $1 million, loan of $5 million, $10 million. How many times as a black man, let's say you are a college graduate, can you go to the bank and say, "Hey, I have this great business idea. I need $1 million," and you're going to get it? That it doesn't happen to you. So it makes it harder for us to establish a business and for that business to be generational. So it's like, how can you create something that's generational for your kids when it's already a struggle to go and try to borrow money to start your own business? So now you have to collaborate with someone else, but it still goes back to your connection, knowing the politicians, but also knowing as there are existing politicians, how are you going to remove them out of their seats? Because those sometimes are lifelong jobs, and those jobs don't become available that suddenly.
I agree. Shell, have you looked at politics or thought about it? Investing in that way. I don't know, because you're the youngest one, so your generation is different than me and Walt's. Tony.
Yeah, I haven't really gotten to like the politics, but it's politics, but not like backing anyone. It's more of just trying to change like the environment that I grew up in. All y'all been in Lexington. Like I grew up in Lexington. Lexington's a wealthy city, but I grew up on the side that's not that wealthy. So I try to invest back in that. And sometimes it might be the local congressman or judge or whatever. There's certain programs like that to put back. So I'm not into politics that way y'all describe it.
Gotcha. Tony, I didn't know if you had another question before I went to the next. Oh, go ahead, Walt. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna go to the next topic. Go ahead, Walt. You dropping some gems on us, man. Drop another gem. I'm stuck with them all the time. Drop a gem.
A lot of things, and for us, when we talk about politics and who you vote for, whatever, a lot of things that we overlook is we need to be more focused on local politicians and people in our community, and we so a lot of people just go vote for when you go to vote for the president instead of who are you voting for in the city council? And so we never do that. But you were talking about taking money and putting it behind politicians and stuff like that. Well, a lot of times in our community, people are making money. They move out of that community. So then when somebody's in that community and they're running for a seat in the city or whatever, well, the people with the money is not really there to support them, and they're going to support the people who are in their neighborhoods or whatever. So I mean, it's just a tough situation a lot of times. I would love to see more black people running for offices, or we just don't have the means to win. You know what I'm saying? Which is
Yeah,
unfortunate.
it is expensive. I've been working. I invest in a lot of different politicians that all over. Well, I need to stop saying it because they'll start calling me again. But I have helped a few, and it's important. It's just the mentality, Walt and Shell and Tony, that we got to get to. And I learned from some of my other business partners because I try to get that information. Is that it's good to invest in other people, like Walt was saying, like if they're running for office, like the local councilman. Even though I might not live in Marietta or Decatur, it ain't nothing wrong with me shipping $100 or asking Tony to put $500 down in DeKalb County to help them because that changes the dialogue in that area. So it's important. And we have to understand that. And now that we have resources to a certain degree, we got to get out of the thought of just, okay, I got mine. Because that's what's going on now. Like when we see the politicians now, all these congressmen is not doing anything. They don't put trillions of dollars into helping COVID. How much have they put in to stop racism? Community center. I ain't seen no $1 trillion go to put a community
No.
center. Shelby got to go back home and help with park. But they done gave $1 trillion away for COVID.
Yeah. Because you know what? And the reason why is that it affects people, though. Like I say, it affects their culture. So when their culture is being affected by it, it's funny how they have the money and the resources that we don't have. So I think as Walt said and Cher kind of touched on, is that we got to make sure that we keep educating our kids, and our kids got to educate their kids as they move on. And hopefully, we can grow from this because we got to take this time and see who really steps up. It's not about the tweet. It's not about you talking. Is that, as we said earlier, it's about putting people in position of power to make decisions and give us some leverage in this country. Because right now we don't have enough leverage in professional sports, politics. It doesn't matter right now because we don't have the people in place. And then as a culture, we got to support each other. I think sometimes you see jealousy amongst us is that, as Walt said, of course we're trying to leave a situation that hasn't been good to us. And then once we leave, those people are resentful because we left the situation. And we're trying to better not only our situation, but better our family and our future.
I agree. One thing I do, like Shell, I didn't know. Did you have another question about this before we'll move on, Shell?
No. I'm slowly. I'm a
Okay.
young man, slowly learning the politic game and all of that. I would say one thing I do know that with the Uncle Nearest stuff we did, that we got some information the other day, and it shows like the impact that we have when like minorities and African Americans get their money together, the changes we can make. 'Cause we're changing the spirit world right now with having Uncle Nearest.
What you know about Uncle Nearest?
I do not.
Let me tell Shell this since he brought it up. Shell, drop it down about Uncle Nearest. Let him know a little bit about
Hey man, what we gonna do, man? Hey man, what we gonna do? We
Hey,
got
man,
the
stop putting
first
that man
rainbow
on.
going on.
Stop putting that man on the
it. All
spot,
right,
man.
all
What are you
right,
doing?
all right. We'll talk about
It's
that later.
100%. It's 100% black owned. Put it that way.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know.
And I don't know what y'all talk about businesses, Walter, have you have owned. My father was an entrepreneur, so I was always taught entrepreneurship. And that's the same way it was in the 60s and 70s or the 40s and 50s before integration because we were self contained. Now we're not self contained, so now we have to interact with all different people. So I think entrepreneurship also makes a big difference because if I'm able to start a business, Walt, I can employ 10,000
Right.
people. Have y'all ever, because y'all are professional players, have you ever thought about, okay, I can start this business. It might not make me a big enough profit, but I can break even or I can make a little profit, but it's going to change my community. Have you ever thought about that in your all business interactions? Because I don't know what everybody else does.
Yeah, I mean,
I
you
think.
think about it,
Go ahead, Walt.
but it's tough a lot of times because obviously being a professional athlete and all the things you do, like a lot of time is taken up, and you hate to try to do something that you can't really support the way you want to support it and be there, and but definitely thought about it, yeah, for sure.
Let's see, TD.
I think with all of us, you know, we've invested so much time into basketball is that now it's like starting all over again. When you put 20, 30 years into something, is that to me it's hard to start all over again and say, man, I gotta try and build my empire all over again. And I think that's the place where most of us professional athletes have when we're done playing is that, man, we put so much time and it's so much energy that we poured into basketball. It's like, man, now I got to start a new business all over again. When you started that business as a kid, and most people don't understand that it goes back to when you were a teenager, going through high school, going to college. You're having a professional career that took up so much of your time, and then when you retire from basketball, you're relatively young going into corporate America. So if you haven't been connected with the right people, you are starting all over again.
Yeah, I
Just
agree.
and let's add on to that. What's really important is once you get it, once you have a professional career and you're doing whatever, like you got to make those connections earlier because once you're in the NBA, 10 to 15 years or whatever, and you're not LeBron James, and you're not Kobe Bryant, and you're not, if you're not those guys, Dwayne Wade, all these guys, and you're not hot, there's not a lot of opportunities for, what I'm saying, for you to is starting at the grassroots. When you're at the top and you're hot, like a lot of these guys are, obviously you're gonna be able to do a lot more things, and people are willing to help you and put you in situations where you can succeed.
And to Walter point,
Well,
to say this too, Mel, hold on just a minute, is that to Walter point, it is an easier transition. So everybody always try to say, well, LeBron did this, Michael Jordan did this. Is that it's totally different when you have that kind of leverage. And LeBron is probably one of the most unique athletes that we've seen in our time because of the leverage that he had from when he first came in the league to how in his 17th year he still has leverage right now. And that's the most important thing that no other athlete has ever had the kind of leverage like LeBron has had.
I
That's why
agree.
he's the GOAT. That's why he's the GOAT.
Oh Lord.
Walter,
On
is
that
he the
way, we'll
GOAT?
take a break. A break. I only talk. That's break. I don't want to talk about that right now. He always come with that young boy mess. We're gonna take a break. We're gonna get into some
He young, man.
basketball. Yeah, he don't know no better. That's what it is.
No better.
He had Michael Jordan. Jody, did he have him in
Man.
his top 5 or no? Shelby.
You know what? He finally put him in the top 5.
Put who in the top
And he was
5?
like
Who you
4th.
talking about?
MJ.
Who? MJ.
Was
You had
MJ in the
MJ
top
at the
5?
top 5, man.
When we come back from break, I'm gonna give y'all player comparisons on yourselves. I'm gonna tell y'all who y'all are in today's game.
All right. I love it.
I'm Mel Clemens. A lot of people ask me what made me get into the insurance business. I tell them, number one, the Allstate brand has been around 50 plus years, helping customers throughout the entire country protect their home, their lives, their families, and even their automobiles. The number one way we stand out from other agencies is we're here 24 hours a day between online customer service, 24 hours a day phone support, and my wonderful staff has been trained over 20 plus years to make sure we find you the deepest discounts to keep customers happy. We also have a new discount called the Home, Auto, and Life, because Allstate protects life insurance also. We want to make sure your kids, your grandfather, your grandkids are taken care of. Anytime you need the Mel Clemens Agency, you can go online or call us. We've been able to help thousands of customers throughout the Southeast, from Georgia to South Carolina to Tennessee. In good times and bad times, the Mel Clemens Agency is always around.
Like cash envelope budgeting? Then you're going to love Cube. Cube is a one-of-a-kind app card combo that unites banking and budgeting. Here's how it works. First, you split your paycheck into cubes. Cubes are like piggy banks with purpose. Basically, you're giving every dollar a job. When you're at the store or online and ready to make a purchase, simply choose which cube the money is coming from and ensure you have enough. There are no overdrafts. You've got $1,000 allocated for groceries. Your cart rings up for $250. The Cube card has a default zero balance. This prevents theft and any unplanned purchases. You select your grocery cube, which then automatically transfers your available funds to your Cube card. Now run the card. $250 is removed from that cube. The remaining $750 is returned back to the cube as available funds. Bingo! You're done. Easy. Oh, and if you've shared the cube, your people will get a notification, so everyone's on the same page. Every purchase you make with Cube is tracked, so you can see your purchase history for each Cube category. Easy peasy. Download today and start spending with purpose. Cube.
Consulting is a company that helps people buy and sell insurance agencies. When people want to change careers and get into a new industry, they call me to find an insurance agency to buy. When people want to retire and get out of the insurance agency, they call me to help them liquidate their asset or sell. Some people will call me a broker. I'm more of an intermediary. I'm kind of like between a buyer and a seller. I make it fair for both parties. The primary reason somebody would leverage Sam Consulting is because we create millionaires. We help people retire from the business and retire wealthy, or we help people get into the business and grow to be wealthy.
The reason I use Sam Consulting is the reputation, professionalism, the expertise, and the amazing job of doing the due diligence is what convinced me to work with Sam Consulting.
Owning an insurance agency is one of the biggest kept secrets. It's generational cash flow coming in every month. This is what I do. I create millionaires by walking them through the process, step by step, on how to own their own business. The best way to reach me is go to samconsulting.com, or you can simply call the office, 678-223-7397.
Are you suffering from fear and anxiety? The Allen Counseling Clinic is here to help. Our goal is to help you grow from your struggles, heal from your pain, overcome your fears, and get the relief from your anxiety. Call now, area code 424-295-6227. Telehealth is now available.
All right, we back. Mac, go ahead, drop it on us.
All right. I'm gonna give y'all a player comparison, and then Walt can give us his top five.
You gonna do me first?
Who should I start with? Should I start with the player comparison? I start with Walt or TD?
What about my player comparison?
Go ahead. You go first, and I'll go.
No. He missed it, Tony. You got to compare. Who am I? Who am I on the basketball court?
I know some great equipment managers in the NBA. I know a lot of them that they all took care of me. I didn't want to do you like that.
Go start with Walt. Next up, go with Walt. Tell Walt who he is in the 2020s. Who is Walt? You got to come with two. Give me two. You got to go with two. At least two. Right.
Jared Dudley or Channing Frye?
All right, Walt. I need feedback, Walt. What you think?
I can see Channing Frye. I can see that only from a shooting the three standpoint. Jared Dudley's a good basketball player, but I think I could guard 1 through 5.
You in better shape. So the Jared Dudley messed people up with it. Because you think about the body and all that. We know you're in better shape. Don't go that way.
No, I'm not even thinking about. I'm just talking. I'm thinking from a. I played every position in the league and guard every position. So I think that I was able to do a lot more things as far as you can stick me wherever.
I got you. Then TD, I'm gonna give you one, and don't think about the finals. Well, like you like a microwave. I give you J.R. Smith. You can shoot the three, and you're very athletic.
Okay.
He'll go down one of the
what
best.
What you say? Who'd you say?
J.R. Smith.
Who did you say? Look here, man. Tony is one of the most prolific NBA, college, high school players. He ain't gonna say nothing. Well, hold on, Shell, who is this? Hold on,
J.R.
who
Smith
is
can't
this?
straight.
Who is
We got an album cover.
who is this?
Hold on.
Slim? Is that Slim? Oh man.
Ice.
Hey,
Ice,
Tony.
ice, ice.
Tony, why his eyes so pretty? Why his eyes so
Hey
pretty?
man.
Hey, pretty eyes. What's
Hey,
wrong?
hey. Hey, Walter's very photogenic this day, man. Hey, he was
Yeah,
on the
Wow.
album. Hey, listen, hey, you gotta understand when you're on the album cover, man, you gotta bring your best picture, man. You gotta look your best on the album cover. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
this like Prince. I can't look you in the eyes, man. You can't look you in the eyes.
Who was that young cat?
Hey
Oh.
man.
Hey,
Slim
what
Ice.
year was that? What year was that, TD, when he did that? What year?
That was 2011.
Yeah, that was
TD, what
that
you
wasn't
say
too
to
long
him?
ago, man.
Yeah,
Hey,
that was
hey,
2000.
listen, man. I'm not saying it because my homeboy, but he did have a couple nice CDs, man. So I actually, as a roommate, man, the dude was singing every day, man. When I tell you, like waking up, going to bed, on the bus, on the court, like I couldn't wait to graduate to get away from him. I'm like, man, this dude needs to get him. This dude needs to get on somebody's record label, man. I have his own record label, but the dude. I will say this though, he taught himself how to play the keyboard. Man, he was musically gifted when it came to just understanding the keys and, just being, like I said, being a musician. Man, you have to have a gift, and that's something that Walter had. And that was like his second passion away from basketball.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nah, I noticed you sing a lot, Walt. I want to know you. It's kind of it's tough being a musician because you playing 1-on-0. In basketball, you always got a lot of people. So like I done a little research. I mean, how was it singing the national anthem for the NBA All Star? Like to get everything started. How was that?
It was cool, man. So the NBA did a cool thing, man. They brought in all the athletes to do all the production stuff. So whether it was hosting, I mean, it was cool, man. I think Destiny's Child, they did it. I got to open up in front of them. I mean, it was just cool, man. Obviously, a lot of people at that point knew that I sang and loved music because my rookie season, Larry Johnson in Oakland made me do it the last home game of the season.
Hold on.
So
They made you do it, man. Hold on.
yeah,
Hey, say this again. Hey, Charles Oakley did what?
they made me sing the anthem. So
Sorry. Hey, hold on. So did they debo? Did they debo you, man, or you felt like you had to do it, or you was doing it because you know what you felt like it was in you to do, or you felt like Debo was like you gonna sing the national anthem.
right. I thought it was cool to be able to do it in Madison Square Garden, but they're like, you gonna sing this anthem, or you gonna get knocked out. You know what I'm saying?
Answer this for me. Can y'all see the price? I don't know what's in your CD. I was trying to support you. You see the price of your CD? What's
Hey
that
man,
CD? Man, Bob, what you put in that CD, man? Hold on, let me get it. Y'all got a CD.
44. Damn,
That's
44.
Oh man. Yeah, it went out. Hold on, I got it. Give me one more. Give me one more. Look at this. Wow. Oh, you can't see the price now. Oh, yeah, hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna say 44. Well, what you got in this CD, man?
I'm trying to get
Man,
it,
Yeah,
man.
you got fire like
man,
Hey,
44. Wow. Hey,
he
Walter,
got
you gotta
Drake. He
drop
got
a.
Drake on there, man.
that?
All right. Before, hey, Walt, you gotta drop a line now. If you charge $44, I know you can drop a Amazing Grace or something for $44. Walt, you can drop a line today. Yeah, the Martin Lawrence.
first of all, that
Come
ain't that ain't my
on.
that ain't my site. That ain't my site. So hey, whoever
You
site
sound
that is,
like
they got a good thing going, and if they getting it,
Hey, you know what they sent me up? Hey, he has been hacked, man. Somebody hacked into his account.
hey, Walt, they got your phone number at the bottom. What you talking about?
Hey,
All right,
listen.
Walt.
Mel. If you send that $44, it will go into his account though, some kind of way.
It will catch that boy. Hey, we'll hear a ding right while he on the air. A ding.
I
Hey,
will.
Walt, you gotta drop. Drop something, man. Amazing Grace, National Anthem. You
We
got to
got,
drop something.
yeah, Merry Christmas or something. We can't get nothing for me.
Yeah, he
No,
got it.
man.
We gonna let it go ahead.
We all dudes on here, man.
Oh, you can do the do re mi. Do the do re mi, man. Do the do re mi.
Me. Nah, man.
Hey, hey, Mel. He don't want
Another.
Oladipo show him up. That's what it was.
And listen, man, me and him, we can go live anytime. Y'all set it up
Hey,
anytime.
hold
You
Yo,
don't play
yo,
Oladipo?
yo, this for real. This for real. We can go live anytime. Get a small band together, live stage. We that's a good show.
Hey, man, there you go, man. There you go.
we can set up. So we can set up the IG live. You about Oladipo song for song any day of the week. Ain't
Let's
even
go.
close. Well, give me a
Wow.
sample before
Okay.
I go ahead. I gotta put my name out there. Go ahead. Give me a sample of what I'm gonna hear.
Hey,
Now don't nobody
I
say
like
nothing. Go ahead.
Oladipo got a nice tone, but like Tony said, man, I've been doing this since 3 or 4 in church, man. All right.
What was
Nice
your
with
biggest
it.
single? What was your biggest single?
I got Unbreakable. I got Loveaholic with Ace Hood. I got some nice stuff.
You got some heat. Okay. You gonna drop a little something?
Nah, man, that's next show. Next show, got you.
Understood. All right, I got you. All right. Tony, now you said J.R. Smith, and I said that's. I ain't gonna let you disrespect Tony. One of my idols in basketball. Tony, is that a fair assumption? Is that a fair
No.
comparison?
I think if I would think about somebody in today's game, maybe like a Terry Rozier, just by, and I got a chance to watch and kind of talk to him and kind of see how his game has blossomed over the probably the last 2 or 3 years. So somebody like that, just being a role player, but also getting an opportunity when Kyrie went down, he got a chance to show his complete game. So he can score. So I'm all, and Big Slim will tell you about this. I'm all about getting buckets.
No, you definitely
Shell,
all
give
about
me the
that.
second one. The second one, Shell. Second one. Who's the second one?
All right, we're gonna go back to this Terry Rozier. Not knocking Terry Rozier. He played for your boy Rick Pitino too. But my honest opinion is you're a way better shooter than him. So I couldn't get that.
No. I mean, I would say
I think
am
he's
a better
way more
shooter,
athletic than you.
I wouldn't say that now. You talking about athlete, man. I mean, Slim, you better talk to my man about me.
Man.
Slim, tell him something, Slim. Tell him something.
I saw them non-HD videos on YouTube. I looked you up. I saw them.
Oh man.
So who's your second one, Shell? Who's the second one for Tony? You didn't give me the second one. J.R. Smith, who's the second one?
The second one is like the one I had that came to my mind a lot would be like a Mo Williams. It's
I like Mo.
Someone yeah. It's a dude can play on and off the ball, a shooter, get buckets, do everything, all-star, all that. That's the other one that came to my mind.
Yeah, I like Mo, man, and we got to congratulate Mo for getting that job too, man. So them jobs, and we know this too. Them jobs hard to come by, man. I don't care where they at, HBCU, high school, middle school, man. They are hard to come by. So I love seeing our people get opportunities, and especially when you can go back home and get that opportunity. So, big ups to Mo for getting that job, man. And hopefully he does a great job. And most of it's about recruiting, getting those players to come there.
All right, flip it on the wall. Tell Shell who was Shelvin back in the early 2090s. Well, I guess 2000. Who was Shelvin? Who was Shelvin?
Hold on, before we get that, I got a little quick story. So when we play the Celtics all the time, Walt be over there talking straight smack. I don't know if he's doing it for me or to make Coach Stevens mad, but every time we play them, he want to be on my neck the whole game. And what I do back, I call out all they plays the whole game. It's like I know what he's gonna run and what he's thinking the whole time. So I always have a blast playing against Coach Stevens and the Celtics, especially with with Coach Walt on there and him and Shrewsbury. They be on my neck the whole game. It's like you miss a shot, you coming out the game, you don't play, you ain't no starter. They be on my neck like that.
I'm sure Brad mentioned that, man. We had a lot of fun. You know what? I don't know if Shelvin ever watched his kid play. But Sheldon was strong, could overpower guards, can get to the basket. He reminded me a lot of Strickland.
Oh,
Strickland TD.
East Strickland, yeah, Eric Strickland.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
Eric,
He
you didn't say
Boston
Rod.
got
You
two.
didn't say Rod Strickland.
No, Eric
No,
Strickland.
no. You're not tricky, man. You not that Strickland. No, Hey, hey, I'm gonna tell you. Hey, let me tell you a quick story about that Strickland. Hey, that Strickland gave me when I first got in the league, man, with Golden State. That tricky gave me like 33, 17, and 16. I was like, oh my God, this dude is real.
Yeah, nah, he a monster.
I thought he was gonna say
Strickland's a
Rod
bad boy.
first, but
Eric was a good player, man. He can get to the rim. He was strong, man. I mean, he was just a dog, man. He can shoot the three. Defensively, man, he can do a lot of things, man.
you know he
I
married
never.
in South Carolina too, Tony.
Who's that? He
Yeah, he married somebody out there too. Wait, he almost
did
did.
he?
His dad did. His dad did. Excuse me.
Yeah. The
So
person I
Tony,
get a lot would be Vinny Johnson from the
I
Pistons.
that was my first thought, but I was like, I don't know, man. He a little young. I don't know if he
Vinny?
know all these players, but
Yeah,
You
I
know
know.
about Vinny?
That's the one I get a
No,
lot.
no, nowhere near. You think he play like Vinny?
yeah, man, he come to the game, he getting them up, man. He ain't no like, let me warm up. Like he think he number
Hey,
one.
yeah.
That dude.
Yeah.
And I ain't mad
Tony,
at
what
him.
you think?
He
I don't
came
know,
in,
man.
man.
I really got to think about it because, when I watch Shell play, like I said, man, he's more than just like coming in as a backup. He's someone that that can definitely run your squad. So even just watching him play when I was with Atlanta, just going down there watching him, train and work out, man. I always felt like you got to have a player like Shell on your team, and not even as a backup. I think he has starter capability because he knows how to run a ball club. So you look at a person like that is a good leader, and you don't find too many guys that accept and embrace who they are, and that's where I think as allowed him to have a successful career was that he was happy and comfortable being in his own skin.
Hey, I bet y'all got one for y'all. A little bit of Shell was a better scorer, but what about Eric Snow?
No, I mean, it's hard to say, man, because East Snow just. I mean, you know
Time
what?
out.
No. Hold on, Shell. To be honest with you, man, he could score a
I'm
little
not
bit.
knocking you. Toddy, I'm not knocking you, but it just threw me out. You said, yeah, figure it out.
No, because first of all, East Snow could score, but he had to go play his role with Iverson.
Well, Iverson.
So
Yeah,
regardless
Eric
of
Snow was nice.
what a player can do, if this dude making 15, 20 million, although you might can score, the franchise player gonna take the shots, and we know how that works. You know what I'm saying? So I don't care what you can do. That ball got to go through him. So that cuts off all the scoring because even on that Philly team, Aaron McKee could score. He was a big time scorer. But everything went through one player because that's how Coach Brown wanted his system to be run. So all of us know that wherever team you go to, you have to embrace your role or you'll be looking for another job.
Man, I'm gonna tell y'all something crazy before you go. People online say they got this CD. People online saying they got your CD. Harold King out of Texas. I'm looking at it right now. They said they got this CD.
I sent two off to England today.
They said I got mine at the local thrift store, but he said he got it. I ain't joking. I'm telling you, he said he got it. So my bad.
Hey,
I don't know if he paid the 44.
Hey.
I don't know if he paid the 44.
I don't think he paid the 44 though.
I don't know if he paid the 44. All right, Shell, take us home, Shell. What we got?
Hey, Shell, you got to take us home, man. Take us home, Shell.
I got you. Well,
block out his eyes, man. Block out his eyes.
Block out his eyes. The reason why we didn't get Mel no player comparison, because he's swerving down Iverson's the best thing ever. Iverson's one of my favorite players. He's great or whatever. But I don't know. That's the only thing I think about is a Philadelphia 76. He don't know anybody else in the league besides the Philadelphia 76.
Hey, Shell. Hey, his equipment comparisons are player is Big Shot from New Orleans, the Pelicans, and Zach who's that? Zach with the Hawks, Zach Walsh.
Yeah.
You know
Zach
the
Walsh.
guy,
That's
Zach.
my man, Zach. Zach take care of me every time. That's my dude. Zach and
That's
Sid.
my equipment comparisons. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. I see.
Everybody know
Walt,
them.
I thought you was
Everybody
gonna
know
back
them.
me up today, Walt. Walt, I thought you was gonna back me up today, man.
I never seen your
Walt.
games. I couldn't. I don't know.
Walt.
They
Hey,
probably.
Walt, I was known. My crossover was deadly. I was about a decent shooter. I could jump out the gym. I was dunking consistently, but my IQ was about -10. So in basketball. All right, top five. Well, I want to get Walt's top five stretch
My top
forwards like
five.
himself. Stretch forwards. Your forwards. Your stretch forwards. Power forwards or small forwards. Your top four, top five. Your
Man,
position.
Scottie Pippen.
Ooh, all right, Pip. Are we in order?
Nah, hold on, no. Time out. Scotty ain't no 4.
He says
He said
He
small
talking
forward
about
and power forward. His position.
now. He said stretch 4. He talking about like how Walt do it. Shoot them jumpers. We ain't talking
Nah,
about
that's good. I take
so
stretch
just
of the power.
stretch forward. All right, so
stretch
we
4.
gonna
Stretch
go.
4.
We gonna go stretch. I'm one of the original stretchers, but I'm not gonna even put myself. So I'm gonna go Robert Ory,
Okay, all right.
Big
Oh, I
game.
Sam,
like that. I like that.
Sam Perkins,
Big perk.
I got I
Big
got to do some
Perk,
research.
um, Glenn Robinson.
Okay, big dog. Okay.
Obviously, I'm missing a lot. Y'all put me on the spot, so I'm trying.
Hey, I'm
to
gonna give you a
think
few.
about
Cliff
Dirk,
Robinson, Brad Sellers. I mean, come on, quite a few of them out there, man.
You got
Early
two
on,
more spots.
Dirk
Dirt. Yeah,
Nowitzki,
you gotta go with dirt.
Dirk. I got one more. I'm going to go Glenn Rice.
One more. That's it. Rice? Is
G
Rice?
Money.
Is Rice a stretch? Okay.
G
Yeah,
Money
All right.
and
6'8",
that's
Tony,
6'3", man.
any kickback there? Any kickback on that list? Tony, he making
I
No,
himself
got
on
I
the list?
like
I
Or
got
him.
I like
G
it.
Money
I
was my
got one
dude in
for him.
Charlotte.
I got one for him. I think y'all might like it, y'all might not, but y'all all the same age, so I don't know.
all right, go ahead.
Y'all
Who we
gonna
got, Phil?
Rasheed Wallace?
Oh, you did lead. Dang.
Wow, can he really stretch the floor, or was he kind of up and down? Shoot,
Nah,
Wow.
He can stretch, but here's the thing. Remember, she was a beast.
but you know what, Walt? Hey, you had, because I played with Rasheed. My last year in the league, I played with Rasheed. You had to really piss Rasheed off, man. Like, he hated. When I tell you somebody that hated and despised referees, like, he hated referees, man, too. I don't think I ever seen anybody that hate referees as much as him. He would look at them, they want to give him a tech, man. But playing with Rasheed, man, that dude, he was a bad boy. He probably could have been a 10 to 12-year all-star if he had really just played up to his potential, man. He was that good. I got to get
All right,
We need to get Roscoe on here, man. We got to get Roscoe on here.
who's Roscoe? Slim? Who's Roscoe Slim?
That's what we call Rasheed. Call Rasheed Roscoe.
Oh, that's all right. All right. Before we take us on home, NBA coming back, COVID and high school football. I'm real strict on this, and I'm gonna get Walt and y'all opinion. I think it's too early to be playing sports. High schools and colleges around the country are having all these cases. Cases are going up. Florida is probably the worst, and Texas are the two worst states in the country, and the NBA said they about to go there. Walt, talk
That's
to
a
me.
tough. One thing that I like about the NBA, if they can pull it off, is the guys are in a bubble. They're not going to be mixing around. They're all there. I don't see how, as far as college, how. I mean, you're telling me that my kids can't go to school, but you can bring athletes back on campus who are going to play against other athletes in other states and other places who are going to play against. Like it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me. I can't see it happening. As from at the college and high school level.
But they're trying to play high school, college, and AAU, but you don't see how it's going to happen either, other than the bubble.
I think they're going to try it. And I think cases are going to spike up, and I think they're going to have to shut it back down.
Tony, high school football, Dale. Is it gonna be high school football this year?
Man, hey, listen to you, ain't none of this happening. the way you put it, man. Hey, the way Mel put it, there won't be no sports until like 2025, man. You don't think anything will happen. I'm like, come on, man, stop it, dude.
Look at this. Look at this. What did it say? 3 college schools continue workouts besides COVID-19 testing. You telling me at schools in Georgia, kids testing positive, they're like, nah, let's keep playing. Is that logical to y'all?
It's not
I
at
mean,
all.
it's not logical.
At some point, somebody's going to take a stand like, hey, somebody's going to come to a sense like, okay, we got to stop this. This makes no sense. You know.
Yeah, I don't think it's logical, but I can. Me being the youngest dude here in Millennium, it's the same thing as like chicken pox. I don't know if y'all read on everything. It's like 60% of the world is gonna have coronavirus by the time it's like done with. So it's the same thing as like chicken pox or anything else. It's just like just a scare right now that no one knows what's going on. So I can see stuff continue to happen. It's just unfortunately like some people is gonna fall. It's just kind of what goes with it. Hopefully it's not one of us, anyone we love. Hopefully it's not anyone in the world. But that's the thing that's gonna happen. It's gonna be chicken pox, and like 10 years is gonna be a shot that you got to get to play sports. It's just something natural that's gonna kind of happen.
TD, you gonna close out on COVID? Because I didn't want to make it too blue. Shine it up for me, TD. What you think about COVID? Shine it up.
You know, I mean, I still think it's, like I said, so much research needs to be done. And I think as a society, you know, we just still have to keep practicing social distancing and keep listening to our doctors. And at the end of the day, you know, we still have to get back to some normal. And it's going to be a new normal for us going forward. And I think as a society, we all got to work together and figure this out.
All right. Take us home, Shell.
Yeah, man, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. We got a Kentucky legend. I'm pretty sure it's been all around my home city, Lexington, Kentucky. Been all over the place, dirt boat. Quick question: any of y'all playing dirt boat before?
Never did.
Not in Lexington.
You ever play?
No, I
Nah, I didn't get a chance.
I did in Hot Town though.
Mel,
Oh, yeah,
that question is not for you. That question is for
wasn't for
Walter
me.
and myself.
Oh, my bad, man.
You're excluded from the question.
He
Nah,
probably
my
said you did probably play some little dirty courts or something, but other than that,
All right. Well, you gonna be next. I can go deep now. I've been giving you a pass now.
Yeah, we've been sparing you. We're gonna leave it alone.
We've been letting you go, man. Okay. You don't come down this aisle no more. You better go while you're ahead.
Oh, yeah.
what's his red phone button?
Say what?
What's his red phone button do?
Don't do it. Hey, man, we appreciate you, man. All love.
Yep.
Hey, Tony talk about you all the time, man. Some of the stories you told that y'all didn't get to share, man. I love to see positive brothers staying together. People don't understand. When you see lifelong friendships like that, that's what sport and life is about. Somebody you can connect with, depend on support. So, man, I love to see y'all connection, man. I didn't know he had no friends.
Nah, that's the same thing I've been wondering. But I want to thank you for being on the show. We're gonna end this show. It's been have a great time with a special guest and 2 of my favorite uncles. Mel and TD. Want to appreciate y'all again, and looking forward to seeing y'all next week.
Holla.
Thanks, guys.